We've all been there. You get a sudden burst of inspiration. You buy the acoustic guitar, you set it up in your room, and then a week later, it's quietly collecting dust in the closet. When this happens, we tend to assume we lack a natural gift or the right temperament for the skill. In reality, the struggle usually stems from the way we approach the first few days, rather than a lack of intelligence. Reaching a usable, competent level in a new field relies on how we manage the very beginning of the process. Researchers and experts suggest that focusing your energy on a specific 20-hour window of practice can move you past the beginner's plateau. Let's build a plan for those 20 hours right now. Grab a pen and a piece of paper, or open a digital document. Pick one specific skill you want to acquire, just one, to use for this tutorial. Moving through this early stage requires a systematic approach to overcome the mental friction that makes new habits feel heavy and uncomfortable. Step 1 involves narrowing your focus. Vague ambitions like learning to code or speaking Spanish provide no clear roadmap, which often leads to the brain feeling overwhelmed and shutting down. You need a micro goal. Write down an exact, measurable target for the skill you just chose. Step 2 is to deconstruct that target. Any complex skill is actually a collection of smaller, foundational subskills that work in tandem. Look at your chosen goal and identify the 3 most essential components. At this stage, you can ignore the advanced techniques or stylistic flourishes that experts use. This keeps you out of the overloading trap. Beginners often stall because they try to absorb high-level theory on day 1, when they should be repeating the core mechanics. If you are learning to type, prioritize finger placement. For guitar, focus on 3 basic chords and a single rhythm. Breaking an intimidating ambition into 3 precise mechanics turns a massive project into a series of predictable steps. Step 3 focuses on your surroundings. Willpower is a limited resource, and your physical environment often determines whether you actually start your practice or find an excuse to skip it. Commit to one physical change in your space right now that makes starting your practice the path of least resistance. This might mean leaving your instrument on a stand in the middle of the room, or moving your learning app to your phone's home screen while hiding distracting notifications. Step 4 is blocking out the time. To reach 20 hours within a single month, you need to find roughly 40 minutes for daily practice. Short daily sessions help the brain process information more effectively than long, inconsistent learning benches on weekends. Open your calendar now and drag a recurring 40-minute block into a fixed slot. Making this automated removes the need for daily motivation. Be careful to avoid tutorial hell. These 40 minutes must be spent actively performing the skill, rather than just watching other people talk about it. Combining a pre-arranged environment with an automated schedule takes the guesswork out of the learning process. Step 5 is the frustration contract. Expect the first 5 days to be awkward. You will likely feel slow, clumsy, and occasionally demoralized as you begin. This early struggle is the physical evidence of your brain adapting to a new demand. The confusion you feel is a sign that the learning process is actually working. Create a 30-day checklist. Explicitly mark the first 5 boxes as the frustration zone, where your only goal is to show up and perform poorly until the mechanics become familiar. You can also use an identity shift. Instead of saying, "I'm trying to learn this," speak as a practitioner of the skill. This shifts your internal perspective from a passive observer to an active student. To track your growth, record a 30-second video of your very first attempt today. Put it in a folder and wait until day 10 to watch it. Seeing the contrast provides the evidence you need to keep going. Successfully navigating this stage requires viewing the initial discomfort as a necessary indicator of skill acquisition. Look at the plan you've built. You have a specific goal, identified the core subskills, organized your environment, blocked your time, and prepared for the initial frustration. Most people stay in the dreaming phase, waiting for a perfect time that never arrives. Mastery begins when you sit through that first awkward session. Your 20-hour clock begins today, right now. Lock in your commitment by commenting, "I will learn fast," followed by the skill you've chosen.